What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wingin podcast. Jack, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I can't complain. I am better than most of the gaming community, so I'm good.
Andre, how you doing, man?
I mean, I'm doing pretty good, and now I'm in agreement with Jack. That I'm better than most of the gaming community
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. So what you been playing? Me personally, I've been playing Breath of the Wild again, as well as Fatal Fury: City of the Wolves and Doom: The Dark Ages. That's the three I've been playing. So
Okay.
yeah. So Jack, what about you? What you been playing?
So I took advantage of some of the summer sale stuff. I was kind of dabbling with, yeah, this is a good deal, but will I play it? I end up getting the Saints Row bundle that they had. It was Saints Row the third full package, and then Saints Row 4 re-elected for like $2 and some change. And I forgot how much mindless fun comes from the Saints Row games, and the fact that on the Switch 2 it runs a lot better and it's smooth all the way through versus what it was on the Switch has been amazing. And then also too, I got God Eater 3. So Monster Hunter has always been my jam since I bought it back on the Wii U with third generation, along with the 3DS version. So that was like my first introduction into Monster Hunter. But one thing I will say that's always been like a small little pet peeve is how slow Monster Hunter is. And God Eater kind of counters that with the speed that it has in that game. It still has customization. You still fight monsters. It's just like you're not beating monsters to collect their body parts to create armor. But you still have things that you can do in that game as far as that's similar to Monster Hunter. It's just one is more anime-like and fast-paced to where the other one is more strategic and detailed and slow-paced and just grind heavy with trying to get these armor sets.
Side note: the God Eater anime is off the chain.
See, I didn't even know that even existed.
That anime was off the chain. I ain't gonna lie. It pissed me off because they broke it up.
Right.
Like they played like the first 8 episodes, and then they brought the rest of them. Like, bro, don't do this to me. So,
Right.
But yeah, that God Eater anime was off the chain.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, I'm still looking around to see what's coming up. But honestly, I'm getting dangerously close to Donkey Kong. It's next week. But I also did get Penny's Big Breakaway. That was a game I had my eye on when it first released, and initially I bought it on my ROG Ally because it didn't run all that well on the Switch for real. And so I bought on my ROG Ally. Problem was there was this bug that no one knew until the game released that it would crash the game as soon as you start the first level, and it was only with the Windows devices. So,
Wow.
so I end up refunding the game, and I say they fixed the bug maybe like a couple months down the road. And by that time, I was like, yes, whatever. So now it's $15 on the eShop, and it runs flawless on the Switch too. So now I'm getting an opportunity to play it for the first time.
I need to replay it. I might try. I might replay Super Princess Peach on Switch too and see how that goes.
Yeah, I heard that was pretty smooth now too. So, but yeah, that's it.
All right, Andre, what about you, man?
Playing Castlevania Advanced Collection, ran back through Aria of Sorrow twice, just to speed run it.
That was a good game. That was a good game, man. Aria of Sorrow was a good game.
Good. And I'm going to be playing the Dawn of Sorrow next, since I got the Dominus Collection. Go ahead and throw that in there too.
Okay.
Playing them back to back.
You think they're gonna make an anime season off of one of those games for the Castlevania anime?
I hope not. They've already ruined my expectations, so I hope not.
Yeah,
I really don't want them to.
Yeah, Symphony of the Night, they screwed that all the way up.
Right. Screwed it completely.
I wish they just would have went with Simon next instead of going straight to Richter. But whatever it is, what it is.
Hell, I would have liked if they went backwards. Why not just go do Leon? Nobody really know much about him. Do Leon.
Yeah, because Leon and Drake were actually friends, right?
No, Leon didn't know Drake. He never.
Which one was friends with Drake? Which one was friends with Drake?
That would have been
Chris? No, not Chris.
I'm trying to think.
Because one of the Belmonts they were actually friends. So
I I don't know if that's in the main line or if that. No, that would have been Sophia, but she wasn't Dracula's friend. She actually would have been messing around with an Alucard, but that got retcon when they created Leon.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
I knew it was one of them.
Technically, the Belmonts would have been family to Dracula if they would have stuck with that timeline.
Okay. Because I know, like that Castlevania timeline, y'all was complaining about the Zelda one. That Castlevania one, boy.
The bad thing is, if they would have left the Sophia story intact, it made sense. It was like, how are the Belmonts so magically powerful? That makes sense.
Yeah.
Now you gotta go back and make Leon kill his fiance because the dude that was his friend that became a vampire infected her.
Yeah.
That's how it got linked. I was like, why couldn't we just have the Belmonts be related to Dracula? That would have made a lot of sense.
Right.
Especially game-wise anyway, but it is what it is. But, all right, peeps. So, real quick thoughts on the Bandai Namco presentation. I saw no tails. All right, what's your, Jack, what did you think?
Okay. So for me, we had already seen and known most of the stuff that's here. But I'm still interested in Patapon 1 and 2. And then also Digimon. So Digimon is one of those games that I'm like, just make it right and everything will be okay. Like this is so, and then also too, this speaks volumes to the boycott crew for Pokemon. This game is coming and it looks good. Support the freaking game. Like if you truly want a monsters game to survive outside of Pokemon, support Digimon. It's a franchise that stayed around, and I didn't realize how much of a fan base it still had. Like Digimon is still going strong. So I mean, I would say I have my eye on Digimon, Patapon, and then everybody's Hot Shot Golf. That's still, to me, hands down, still one of the best golf games. Yeah, I think that's it's got Mario beat. Everybody Hot Shot Golf is solid. So those are the three games I'm looking forward to. That Shadow Labyrinth game, it kind of went down on my radar after seeing it here. I think they should have stopped showing it. Like,
I just don't care. At this point, I don't care. And then I saw the secret level episode of the Shadow Labyrinth. I'm like, yeah.
The more they show that game, the more disinterested I am in that game.
It's like when they keep making those horror versions of like kids shows like Winnie the Pooh, and now they got that pop out the Slayer man. Like,
wow, yeah. I mean, why is that always like the first thing of like once the license is free for people to use, they go straight to horror? Because they did it with Winnie the Pooh, they did it with Pinocchio,
and the movie sucked.
They always suck, but that's why I was like, why is that always the first thing of making it a horror film?
I guess it's better than the alternative of making it a Bum Chicka Wow
movie.
Film. Yeah. Bum Chicka Wow Wow, you know what I'm saying? Hey,
yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Giggity. All right, we'll wait till Andre gets back. Let him give us his thoughts. My first question tonight is one that people probably gonna be easily offended by. I don't care.
I'm about to say it is what it is.
Why does finding out who the developer of a game you've seen being played multiple times matter?
Look, I know the answer to this, but it's so stupid. It's so stupid.
It don't matter. Unless you're gonna write them a personal thank you letter or something. I don't know why you need to know that.
I'm telling you,
and this is in regard to Donkey Kong Bonanza. Like most people with eyes after the Treehouse Live are like, oh yeah, that's the Odyssey engine.
Odyssey team. Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure that's the Odyssey team did that.
Yeah. Like we knew that. But then like everybody was like, well, who made it? Who made it? Who made it? Now I knew what was gonna happen when we found out. Like it was already common sense, but they just needed clarification. Yeah. But what ended up happening was once this came out that okay, the Odyssey team was working on this. Oh, okay, so this is just like Odyssey 2. So, so Donkey Kong is just Odyssey 2. I'm like, no, separate these two franchises because that's what they are. They're not the same.
No, they're not.
Like, there's plenty of games that use the same engine and work with the same team that are different.
I Ocarina of Time and Mario 64 is the same engine.
But you didn't hear nobody saying, "Oh, that was Mario 128." Like it's just
Yeah,
it's
it's
so
not.
stupid. I
Yeah.
hate when people do that.
Yeah.
I hate when they do it.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's
that's
darn it.
I told you people are aggravating, bro. Like,
But it's the you saw the Treehouse Live, both parts 1 and 2. You saw the direct. You know what the game plays like. If you played Mario Odyssey, you should have easily been able to put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
So once again, why do you need to know that? It's like with the whole Metroid Prime remaster thing. They didn't put the original people on there. They didn't work on it.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling people live to be miserable, bro. They live to be miserable because it. Even if this, like I said, a different team worked on it, that's fine. But if you saw the game and you liked how it played and you like how it ran, leave it at that. It's just, and even what Andre was saying while we was offline was he just looking for the right person to point at if you don't like it.
Yeah,
the right person to point the finger at.
I'm like, either you play it or you don't. At this point, just and most because we finna get into this one, boy. Whoo, boy. So this week, everybody mad at Microsoft, but
I understand it.
I did do a quick little my thoughts. Let's talk live on it on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was Thursday. That I did it, and it's about the perfect Dark and Everwild situation. If you don't know, both of those games have been canceled. Studios have been shuttered. Xbox has laid off people again. Here's the thing. All y'all blaming Phil, I promise you that wasn't his call.
Guarantee it wasn't.
I promise you that wasn't his call.
Yeah.
But the people that made the call, they're cool because they ain't looking like the bad guys. Phil is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he is. I don't think that's his call. Second thing, and I said this on the podcast on the Let's Talk.
Mm-hmm.
Those games both had trailers in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
It is now 2025. One game, they openly said they didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
So I say to those people that are like, man, I can't believe they shuttered Everwild. How could they do red like this? You didn't know what that game was. So sorry for the outburst. So you don't know what the game is because they don't know what the game is.
No.
Perfect Dark has been through creative hell. They lost the creative director. They lost the art director. They lost it was creative director, art director, and I think it was the story. The person that was writing the story. They all left.
Mm-hmm.
Then they went and got with then they made the initiative after the Crystal Dynamics thing just fell through. Look, yes, Microsoft is $1 trillion company.
Mm-hmm.
You do not have infinite money to make your game in infinite time. It don't work like that.
Right.
It don't. And I promise you, both those games were probably hilariously over budget.
Yes, for sure.
This is not the same as the Metroid Prime situation. Because the Metroid Prime situation, when Nintendo figured out this wasn't working, they stopped right then and gave it right back to Retro. Retro was like, hey, we already got a story for it. So, I mean, we just got to get the assets. They got the assets and they've been working. So, I mean, and I think one of the other reasons why it took so long because they were like, hey, make sure we can put this on Switch too.
Yeah.
That was the other reason. Because especially after that Treehouse Live, I'm like, yeah, that's why y'all waited.
Yeah.
That's why y'all waited. I get it. So that's a completely different situation than what's happened with Microsoft. Now, does Microsoft have issues with their game division? Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
They do. All of them do when we actually look at it. But I think, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, I think gamers need to take accountability for what they ask for.
Yes.
You ask for all this stuff and you don't want to pay for it. You ask for all this stuff and you get mad because they charge you $80 for it. Because how dare you charge me $80?
Yeah.
But then you turn right back around and buy the digital deluxe edition for $125.
Look, man. Here's my thing, right? for anybody that genuinely wants to not be in their emotions about this stuff, you do have Microsoft, and of course, Xbox is just a division under Microsoft. So, like you put, when the acquisition happened, you were like, hey, this was more of a Microsoft acquisition than it was an Xbox acquisition, because there is a bigger play at this with ZeniMax. It's the same thing with a lot of the acquisitions. It's like Microsoft sees a bigger picture. They may let the whole team go, but they're going to have the assets that come with, that team. So when we look at, the games getting canceled, people being laid off, and now there's rumors that it was because of them wanting to build out AI. Big surprise. I don't like, every corporation has been trying to navigate towards AI since it picked up. Hell, even for my job, when I'm doing my my mid years for my employees, they're now advocating for me to use AI to write their mid years. So AI, like, every company and every corporation is trying to be on the curve as it's happening. No one wants to be late to the party. Solely
lose
because they're
money
bigger
like that.
corporation, they lose money like that.
Yeah.
And most of these companies are not creative enough to warrant waiting to come back up. So when we look at all these companies being laid off, it's a sad sight to see, for sure. But then also one thing too that that was a good point that was made as well. Some of those were contractors. You wasn't really hired anyway, so I mean, as contract is, but nonetheless, it still sucks to lose your job. But at the end of the day, when we get back to gaming and we stop trying to make this an emotional thing, the Perfect Dark, you weren't really shown anything. Everwild, like Jay said, we didn't even know what it was. But when we look at things like, okay, now Forza Motorsport is no longer going to be a thing. They're not only going to focus on Forza Horizon. When we look at,
concerning.
To me, that's concerning, but at the same time, I understand it, because Motorsport doesn't come out as often, and Horizon is the more beloved game. I don't think you have too many car enthusiasts playing those games anymore. Like, when you look at how Gran Turismo turned out and how Motorsport turned out, I don't think they really did as well. I think Gran Turismo had a bigger push because of VR. That was one of those things that got everybody interested. But in reality, if you remember when Turismo came out, people hated it, because you were like paying real money for these cars, because they were expensive. Like, it was ridiculous. But when we look at them going third party, I think Microsoft is starting to see the writing on the wall that, on one hand, yes, are they doing crazy with the budget and the things that they're trying to spend and make, and with all these acquisitions? Yes. But gamers got to stop acting like they're not at fault. If the games were purchased, we wouldn't be here. Like if you supported the content, we wouldn't be here. And there was a point in time before Game Pass, and those games were not being purchased. So,
or they were buying them used because they couldn't afford it.
Exactly. So,
and used don't help.
It don't at all. And so, and then also too, if you are Sony only, you're to blame for this too. Not because you don't purchase Xbox games, but you spew this negative rhetoric all on social media. And understand, we're all adults, but everybody is susceptible to a lot of things. All it takes is for that one person to have that 360 and be interested in the one, and he has a crowd of people that he interacts with online that say, don't do it, it's a scam, blah blah blah, they're spying on you with the Connect, blah blah, and they won't buy it. They'll walk away from it. And so all it takes is a little bit of peer pressure for some people to just change their viewpoint or change their likes to go to something else. So y'all are to blame for it too, which in this entirety affects the entire gaming community. Because if there's no competition, then you're looking at a monopoly. And then now you're like, okay, now I only can go to this one place, and I get all the games. Yes, cool. But then now we're talking price points.
And you don't want that.
And you don't want that.
Ask any wrestling fan how it was when WCW went on and just WWE for decades.
Boy. And then when they went and bought ECW, and now they done bought AAA, it's a whole thing.
Y'all better be glad for AEW.
Yeah.
So
but it gets to the point of how you actually contribute to the very hobby that you claim that you love. It comes down to your words, your wallets, your actions. It's a whole plethora of things. Because even when you look at pricing in itself, if I go to GameStop right now, and let's say I'm looking for what game is on both consoles. Let's say I'm looking for Hogwarts Legacy. 9 times out of 10, the used copy for Hogwarts Legacy is going to be cheaper on Xbox than it is on PlayStation. Same game, operate the same way, is just going to be cheaper because GameStop knows that the appeal is more with Sony than it is with Xbox, and there is a plethora of reasons as into why. It's never just one reason. But all in all, I mean, what they're doing right now, downsizing, they said they also that they were focusing on projects too. Because if you have, let's say you got 10 to 12 teams and each one of them are working on their own project, no, you need to focus and have these games come out a little bit sooner if you have teams this big. But honestly, too, I feel like a big team could also hinder the progression a little bit and the creativity, because now you got to agree and work with so many people. It could be a big mess, if you will. But hopefully it works out for them, going this third party route where they're just doing games. And I'm pretty sure they're still going to have some form of a device. I don't think they're going to jump out of hardware 100% yet.
Not 100, not yet, not right now. No,
I think they're going to give it one more shot. And I think this is going to probably be their last one, and it's going to just continue to get upgrades, and it's just going to continue to play because we're not there yet with cloud. Game Pass is what Game Pass is. It is what it is. With anything, if it does succeed, everything takes a hard hit in the beginning before it actually sees success. I mean, we look at what Netflix and Redbox, we were doing DVDs for a while, and people were like, "Oh, they're doing bad," and then now Netflix is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, subscription service in America right now, or in the world right now. So it takes time, but yeah.
All right, Andre, your thoughts on the whole Perfect Dark Xbox layout situation?
Not surprised, but highly disappointed.
Yeah,
I mean, it's pretty easy to see where everything was going to go. As much as I tried to hold out hope for it, because again, being a fan of Perfect Dark, I'm like, I want more. I want it to come back. I want to see the series actually prosper in some way. The best game we got is the first game. That's it.
Yeah.
That wasn't made on their system.
Yeah.
It wasn't made on their system. It was made on Nintendo 64. Biggest problem is all these overbloated budgets that do nothing for anybody. Like, you don't have to take every franchise and try to turn it into a big blockbuster game. Mm-hmm. Like, we got The Initiative, a group that never put out a single game. Not one game. They didn't start off with anything small and work their way up. They just said, we're going to take Perfect Dark.
Yeah, they
would take Perfect Dark and try to make it this big, expansive thing. For what reason?
Yeah.
And that's happening with a lot of teams in the industry right now, a lot of studios and stuff. So obviously it's not a good idea to keep just taking these teams. I don't care how experienced the individual people are. If they haven't worked together, they are not a cohesive unit.
Correct. Yeah, there you go.
And you need that experience to be able to do better along the next time. So let them drop a couple crappy games out, the first couple crappy $20, $30 games. Let them drop a couple of those. See how well they do, then work on something bigger. And Perfect Dark itself should have never been some game that was treated like it was this big thing, because it never was.
It's basically James Bond, futuristic James Bond. That's it.
Mm-hmm. It's James Bond with the woman being Bond.
Yeah. And what you need to worry about is the gadgets and the guns. That's it. So it's one of those situations where I was like, okay, all y'all really need to do is look at the first game. Don't look at that other game. Look at the first game and basically make your own story, but follow that template. Y'all are the multiplayer kings. Like, don't try to put no Fortnite mode. Don't try to put no Battle Royale mode. Don't try to put no hero shooter mode. Just do a regular multiplayer mode.
Yeah.
And the game. That's it. That game ain't got to be 40 hours. The campaign need to be from 6 to 10. Yeah. That's it. Your multiplayer, just do stuff to make it. If you want to do special events to, like, try to show you different or whatever, cool. Do special events. But look at the first game. Look at the first game. Play the first game and see, okay, this is what we can do. Because we don't need to break the bank for this.
Right.
We don't. And because I promise you, they probably trying to do something. If you let one of them talk, they probably be like, yes, my grand vision is to make an open world Perfect Dark.
Mm-hmm.
For what? For what?
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah. I don't get the idea of putting these teams together and, like Andre said, let them work. Like, let them get their feet wet, figure out what they want to do, figure out like what kind of passion project they want to make and figure it out over time. Like you throw this big project at them and they don't release anything. Like you just create this team for nothing. And that team was like supposed to be this super dream team too.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we went
They
this
never
person
did
for this, and this, and they didn't do anything.
But they never worked together. So you would have came out better letting before they got bought by Sony. You would have came out better letting Bungie do it.
Right.
Yeah.
You would have came out better.
Yeah. And then also like Dark Void made a good point too. You know, with all of this, regardless of, you know, the budget and everything else, like I said, the fan base, y'all went and spent their money. Like y'all were trying to spend their money. Like y'all were in their pockets like, oh, go buy this group. And they were doing the same thing on the Sony side, like, go buy this group, go buy them.
Yeah.
Like, okay, but you haven't even seen them turn out with the companies they already got. Why are you asking for more? That makes no sense. Like we didn't get more games out of the companies they already had before they made these bigger acquisitions. It's so stupid.
And I think what you said earlier with the whole ZeniMax situation.
Yeah.
And I've tried to tell people like Microsoft Game Studio did not buy ZeniMax. Microsoft proper did. They just Bethesda was part of ZeniMax. They didn't buy them because they wanted Bethesda. They didn't give a damn about Bethesda.
Could care less.
They wanted those patents. It's just like when Marvel bought Fox. They bought them for 2 franchises. They got Avatar, they got Predator, they got Hulu. They ain't want all that. They just wanted X-Men and Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
They did not want the rest of that mess, but they got it.
Yep.
So it's one of those situations where you like, and you try to tell people that, and people get mad because that ain't what they want to hear.
Right.
Because the people that hate Microsoft, they're destroying gaming. That wasn't their call. The Activision thing was their call. But the Activision thing, people tend to forget that we was trying to get rid of Bobby Kotick. And the reason why I say we is because I didn't want Bobby Kotick to get down Activision either. So the only way he was going to get gone, because that severance package was ridiculous. I bet you Activision will never let nobody sign another one like that. But that was the only way he was getting rid of him. They had to get bought out.
Right.
That was it.
You needed a big company to buy them out because his severance package would have bankrupted the company.
Yeah. Now and now here's the funny part. I trust Microsoft when I trust Google's ADHD behind. I trust Microsoft more than I trust Tencent.
Yep.
Because Google, look, I love Google. I use their stuff, but let's be real. They will buy something, start something, and in 2 years they bored with it and it's gone.
That's how you know you got some nasty money, when you can just do something huge like that and say, you know what, I'm good. Like
I'm bored. Dude, people were loving Google Plus and Hangouts on there. Yeah, you know what? We're just gonna make that back to being the internet because we don't really feel like doing that no more.
No, that was them being petty. That was them being petty because homeboy left the company.
Yeah, homeboy left. Yeah, but I'm like, bro, what the? Like, no. Like, people are using it.
But then they make Stadia, which would have used those services anyway. I was like,
what's Stadia?
Y'all just stupid.
And what's Stadia at?
Stadia was the project that they got bored with. It's like, this is all cool, but we're not going to use it.
Yeah,
right.
I'm sitting there like, because people like, man, why don't you get Stadia? I'm like, because I don't trust Google like that. Right. They couldn't explain to me the pricing structure.
You didn't really get Stadia anyway. You interfaced with it.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I mean, a lot of stuff didn't show up, and then also, like you said, Jay, like I was iffy on it because you didn't tell me what happened if you shut down. Like they would not mention it at all. Now, granted, people were able to transfer that stuff over to Steam and get like refunds, so that was cool. But the fact that you were that secretive with it, I'm like, nope.
Nope. When y'all tell me, I will link up.
I will invest.
Nope.
But it's crazy of how quiet Luna's been, but yet it's still up and running.
Yeah.
It's still up and running because they integrated it into Amazon Prime.
Prime.
Like you get games with Prime and you get Luna, and while Luna changes out with the Prime version, that Luna changes out the games every month, you still get to play them for a month without having to worry about anything. And then if you really want Luna, you can pay for it separately.
Now I will say this: I did like the Luna controller and the Stadia controller. I thought they were dope. But
I never got a chance to use them.
But other than that, I'm just like, no, man, this is crazy. But this is the same situation.
Yeah.
And to the people that sit up here saying if you defend Microsoft, you're stupid. No, you're not. Game Pass, whether you like it or not, that's what's keeping them afloat. That game division afloat. Yeah, it is. That's just the truth. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's the truth.
I don't care what developer comes out and says whatever they say. It is what it is. There's over thousands of developers, dude. It's just because one comes out like, oh, it was killing. Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah, bro. All right. So I'm being honest. I'm like, dude, because say would have been got rid of the game division if it wasn't for that. So you're complaining, but that's what's keeping them afloat.
Right.
Once again, I do think that when they was going on this buying spree of developers, they should have slowed down and been like, okay, hold on, we already got teams. Let's make them make smaller games. They don't have to make no big game. We're gonna give you smaller games. Like one of the first directives for Perfect Dark should have been, this ain't gonna be massive.
Right. Yeah. Get it in the door first. Like some people don't even know what it is. Like get it in the door first.
All y'all getting is $50 million. Make it work.
I wouldn't even give them that.
the only reason why I'm saying that is because they have to do 4K, all that other stuff. You're gonna have to spend some money.
Yeah.
So that. But other than that, I'm like, that's what you're getting. You're not getting no more. So make it work. Y'all are not Call of Duty. Y'all ain't gonna bring us in billions.
Yeah.
Y'all make it work.
And that's one thing I genuinely wish companies will stop shooting for. Like it's okay not to have that game. Yeah. I put it in the same context as like, artists that want to genuinely make it, and be like professional artists. It's like, okay, most people want to shoot for the superstardom, like on the Kendrick level, the Drake level, stuff like that. So but then there are right. But you have plenty of indie artists that have a very honest and tried and true fan base, and it takes care of them 10 times over. And I think that's where gaming has to get back to, of like, okay, we have to be confident enough to say, look, our fan base loves what we do and what we put out. Let's at least put something out, even if it's experimental, to see if they like it, to see if they fool with it. But everybody wants to take this big shot in the dark and look for success and find it with one good hit and then feed off of it for the rest of their life. It kind of just goes back to like people wanting to win the lotto. Everybody's gonna take a shot at it, but don't everybody win it. Yeah. And like, so it's like you gotta find some type of steady pace to where you can keep yourself afloat with something that's sustainable. And honestly, Microsoft started off well in 360, especially with Xbox Arcade. I'm surprised that didn't come along with Xbox One. Like Xbox Arcade should have stayed around.
Arcade should have stayed around, but I think what was happening with it was, remember, they had a couple games on Arcade from indie developers that they weren't quality assuring, and they had to take them down. Like there was a TMNT game, Ninja Turtles game that was Out of the Shadows or something like that. They had to delist it because it was a game breaking bug that nobody could finish.
That's crazy.
But nobody QA'd it. So
that sounds like an easy fix. Just QA the damn thing. But
so I think that probably kind of led to that. And then it was like, okay, we can do all this other stuff. Let's upgrade. I'm not sitting in them board meetings, so I don't know. But it's one of those situations I don't understand why it left. I mean, to me, it don't make sense. It don't. Like I understand why Virtual Console left.
Yeah,
people kept complaining.
Yeah,
that's why I left.
Yeah, that is and that goes back to the fan base has a lot more power than they think they do. It's just they use it for the wrong things. Like you bitching and complaining about stuff that don't matter, it don't hold out. But when you constantly push and pressure and then don't buy and this, that, and the third for things that are actually good, it goes away and then you beg for it later. It just, to me, it just doesn't make any sense.
Hey, people, all those is out there was begging for the Wii U games. What happened?
Yeah.
I mean, it was one of those situations where you sit up and you're like, okay, we knew this was gonna happen. Because Wii U had backward compatibility. Y'all hated that. I bought this console to play new games.
Yep.
Okay, fine. I should be able to take this anywhere. I shouldn't have to just be at the house. All right, bet. We're gonna take everything out of here. We're gonna give you this one thing that you asked for, which is to take it anywhere. We ain't even gonna put Netflix or nothing on there because y'all don't need that. We're gonna give you this one
really
thing.
don't. You really
We'll
don't.
give you this one thing. And what happened as soon as middle of 2017? Oh man, what the app said? Why I can't play Netflix on here? Why I can't play Hulu? Like, dude, you don't need that. I want this game. Why I ain't got this game? Like, you said that Wii U suck.
Yep.
It needs Xenoblade Chronicles X. Wait a minute. What? I'm sorry. What? You said the system sucked.
Yeah.
What you know about Xenoblade Chronicles X? Man, where's the backward compatibility? Wait a minute. You said that's why I've always said this, but the Switch was the biggest FU to the gaming industry I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It was. It just exposed everybody's biases. They exposed them into their face.
Yeah.
And you couldn't say nothing. Because I remember me and Shadow got Brian Altano. He stopped talking to us.
He need to stop doing something.
Because we straight called him out. I'm like, bro, you didn't. Y'all didn't. IGN spent years talking about how they should go third party.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like Colin Moriarty or Greg Miller. I'm like, y'all spent years putting the gaming industry in the position it's in now with your takes. You do not get to complain now. You don't.
Oh yeah, that's another thing I forgot too. The media at the time, they are the reason why gaming is in the space is in now. Yeah.
Yeah. Like y'all did this.
Like I said, influence is a big thing.
Yeah.
But so, I don't know, man. And it also goes into, I know you mentioned the games, but then also the storage situation. Like Wii U got dogged out for coming with 32 gigs, and they were like, well, you can do SD cards and hard drives.
Yeah, hard drives. All you gotta do is just plug up a hard drive to it.
And then the next generation, that's the thing we're doing. I'm saying, okay. All right.
That's why I love how Furukawa was like, look, y'all gonna say y'all hate this. Y'all gonna turn around and do it anyway.
Yeah.
Why do you think nobody at Game Freak care what y'all say when y'all say boycott? We joke about the whole boycott situation here, but why would they listen to y'all? Y'all talk about boycotting every damn year, and y'all go buy every damn console and both versions of the game.
Most you realize, like most gamers that are on social media talking, they're current thinkers. They don't think outside the box. They just think about what is right now. They don't care about what could possibly be what's happening. Because even right now, when we look at the SD card situation, like the Express SD card, like that's future proofing. Like these games are bigger. They need to run on faster storage devices. Like, yes, we have SSDs, but the chances of you being able to open up a switch and replace that SSD is slim to none.
You don't have a SATA now, and half y'all don't know how to do that anyway.
And don't know how to do it. And I was like, because remember with PS5, it was a whole thing of, well, did I get the one with heat sink on it? Do I have this? And can I use this one? And it just became a bigger issue. It's like,
and they became expensive.
It became expensive. Like it's one of those things to where, as a business, there's only, I say probably like 5% of things I'm going to take from my fan base. Only 5%, because most are not thinking for the masses; they're thinking for themselves.
Yep. It's their group, their current group of friends.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. Like there's 7 billion people on this planet.
Yep. So I mean, when you look at things like, let's say Labo, that is something that is experimental, something fun for kids to put together. Something that is great to do. But what were most adults doing? Oh, they sold you cardboard. I was like, but most of y'all struggle to put it together in the first place. So really, you can raise the age on that thing.
or when they finally put it together and they actually started working, they liked it.
They liked it, yeah. I mean, I loved all
then
the
they was closeted Nintendo fans.
Yep. But I love Labo. When we got the robot, that was amazing. Like the kids loved the robot.
Yeah. Like they know what they're doing. But so my next question is, should Phil Spencer step down, or is this a bigger gaming issue, not just a Microsoft?
This is not a Microsoft issue.
No, this
is gaming in general.
Yeah.
Because if it was a Microsoft issue, then we wouldn't see so many companies and studios closing down outside of them. So this is not a Microsoft issue.
Right.
Okay. Now, so should Phil step down? Me, I don't think he should.
No,
Because once again, this ain't his call.
He didn't make those calls. Like you gotta look above him.
Yeah, you have to. But the thing is, people don't know the name, so therefore they're not going to.
Well, Sarah Bond about to be the next person.
Oh, she about to be the next president.
She about to be.
She a scapegoat.
Yeah, I'm about to say she about to be the scapegoat. But for me, the only reason why I would say he needs to step down is honestly for his piece. Like to me, it's just they're gonna find a way to point everything at him, which you know maybe that's what he expected. Hey, this is what I want to happen. This is how we should do it, and he knew he was gonna catch the brunt of it. I mean, it is what it is. But for me, thinking from trying to look into the sight of what's gonna come his way, I would do it just for the peace of mind. Just step out and just disappear. And then once it still actions the way that it does, then people still gonna be like, well, Phil set this off, not knowing that Don Matrick
was the one that set it off.
He set that off. Phil was just trying to fix it. But once again, he's not the big dog. He's not the one that makes the final say on everything. Like people have to understand that. I mean, hell, it's the same thing with our government. Like the president is not the final say all for everything.
No,
you got people above him.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say. I'm like, the one thing Phil probably should have did was rein in those budgets and like tell people like, look, man, everything ain't gonna be AAA cost. Like some of this stuff, y'all not getting all this money. Y'all not, and you don't have infinite time. You got 3 years.
Yep.
I'll give you 3 years. Unless your name is Halo or Gears, you getting 3 years.
Yeah. You gotta earn it.
But my grand vision, I don't give a damn about your grand vision. You ain't got a game.
Your vision is expensive, Kojima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you don't have a game to your name. You need to build my trust. Build my trust.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can earn it. But right now,
the worst part is when you put together a new team and you try and go with all these grand divisions, you've ruined the opportunity to build a fan base. Two, you've ruined the opportunity to build up a story or build up an environment in the game. Like, why do people think that every game that's a major franchise now started off as this top tier major big thing? Most of them started off super small.
Yeah.
And worked their way up.
I'm looking at stuff like Astral Chain, Bayonetta. Like the Bayonetta series does not sell like people think it does.
No, it doesn't. No.
It don't. That's why that whole
might as what your girl said.
Yeah, that whole situation was hilarious. But like Bayonetta don't sell like that. But guess what? The budget ain't that big. So when they sell $1 million, they done made over expectations. Astral Chain sold what, 1.33 mil? Oversold expectations. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 oversold expectations. It only sold like 1.5 mil. That's it. But it oversold expectations. Why? Because it didn't cost an arm and a leg to make.
Yeah.
You know, at some point, somebody gonna have to say, somebody at Sony and Sony and Microsoft gonna have to say, dude, you're not getting that. You're not getting that budget. You're not.
Yeah.
You're not getting that budget. You're just not. So
they gotta stop feeding into these expectations that they created.
Yeah, because everything ain't no AAA nothing. Yeah, you want to make this masterpiece cinematic game? Then go make a TV show.
There you go. You can't get in the door.
Yeah, this is a video game. This ain't no TV show.
When we gonna get that Order 1886 remaster?
Not never.
Hi, Vicky.
Hi, Vicky. And Vicky, you are correct. Fantasy Life is ridiculous. Like that game that's amazing. But the my only thing is, and we can continue what we're doing. I'm just answering Vicky. Yeah. But I don't see a lot of comparisons to Room Factory because I already have Fantasy Life, but I want to try Room Factory, and I'm like, they seem like they're both the same type of game in a way. And I'm like, okay, if I get into Room Factory, am I just doing Fantasy Life, just a little different, or
the new
yeah, the new one,
the Dragons? I heard that game's off the chain.
Yeah, me too. But my thing is, it's like it was like the cozy games of like Room versus Fantasy, and I'm like, okay, I got like 60, 70 hours of Fantasy Life right now.
I just seen some boss fights in that Room Factory. That don't look cozy to me.
Look, it's cozy up until you get to that point. So it's like how Kirby is nice and cute until you get to the end of the game.
Yeah.
George, you mean the midway point where it flips and turns into a body horror game?
Well, it depends on which one. Because if we talking Kirby Superstar, that's when it gets bad. It's toward the end of the game.
Yeah. Aries 73, you are absolutely correct. We've been saying that they shouldn't. because your game ain't gonna make $200 million. Spider
No, it's
Man.
not.
Everybody be trying to get all this voice acting and all this. So like, nah, look. I want some games to go backwards. Go backwards to just text. Make people read. Make them,
Hey, look,
read.
you sir are outlandish. That is outlandish. Like you making people read.
Not.
We got AI out here that reads for us, sir.
Yeah.
It's not outlandish to request people use their eyes and brains.
But
I will
say,
play the video game.
But I will say, this is like I said before. I think this is Microsoft finally doing what I said somebody's going to need to do. Somebody has to hit that reset button. You've gotten to the point to where the budgets are crazy. The graphics are, there's no return on that. Like you can't get any better than that. Like they are where they are, and that's where they really need to stay for quite a while. But really someone needs to hit reset and say, you know what? Yep, you know us for Halo, you know us for Gears, you know us for Forza, but you know what? We're gonna come out with this new IP, and this new IP is, just easy. I mean, it can do 4K, but it has more of a cartoonish style to it, or it's not photorealistic. And it's gonna be a quick 10 hours, type of game. No, nothing that's gonna take too much of your time, and it's gonna run you probably about $40 or $50, and just start over from scratch, and really start figuring out how you want to rebuild your fan base. Because like we said, you can easily, if you've been in this long enough, you can easily call out each fan base and what they look for each of these, from Nintendo to PlayStation to Xbox. Xbox started the shoot 'em up bang bang online crew, and that's where they've stuck, and that's just where it is. I mean, PlayStation used to be a little bit more diverse, but now they're more story driven, photorealism. Hey, we want to make sure and it's killing them. And Nintendo is more diverse. They're a little bit of everything. They don't get into the photorealistic, but they definitely span over story, a little bit more platforming, racing.
They their own engines. They create their own damn game engines.
So that's where the closest photorealism they get is what, Metroid, and maybe
that's about it.
Yeah, about Metroid. So
everything else is different art styles. Everything else.
Yeah, everybody has. I mean, but like I said, even to me, I feel like Sony at some point has to hit a hard reset.
Well, Sony's still trying to keep up with the Joneses, and I'm like,
Sony,
y'all not $1 trillion company. Stop.
No,
I said a while ago, Sony could have been reset themselves if they really wanted to, because they got the name to stay.
Yeah,
they got the name to stay. All they have to do is just change direction a little bit.
Yeah,
their fan base will follow them.
Yeah, they
gonna complain. They're gonna complain at first.
They're gonna complain, but they still gonna buy it.
Yeah.
So,
and we've seen that.
They're gonna be complaining while they at the checkout line swiping their credit card.
Yep. Because I think Sony didn't show up for like a year or two, and people were still buying PlayStations, and it's like they love PlayStation. And I get it. I mean, it's a great console. I mean, they make great games. It's just the diversity has gone from Sony at this point, from them, because they rely on third parties. Yeah. For me, if I'm looking at Sony and we say, okay, Sony is this great company, which they are, and they have this great device, and they have so many, great developers, I should not see your top 10 as all third party developers. That shouldn't be the case.
Mm-hmm. Not when you had the portfolio you had on PS1 and PS2 as far as exclusives are concerned.
Yeah. So I that's my thing. I just, I mean, granted, everything isn't first party, but third party should not be eating that much on your console versus what you're making. If anything, it should be your games at least top 5, and then everybody else trickle behind you. Like that, to me, that's how it should work.
Right. I'm going to disagree slightly. Okay. Sony is not a great company. They botched that a while ago with me. Yeah. So Sony is not a great company. I'm sorry. Well, you could remaster the same game for what? Now 3 generations now?
While you were in
3 generations?
Actually, 4 months after you released.
Well, let me define great. Let me define great then, because I agree with that. Let me define great. They have the ability to make great hardware and software.
Yes,
like they've shown that. Like they've shown that they can provide you with top notch, even with like looking at the DualSense controller. That is a amazing controller. Battery sucks, but it's an amazing controller. So they know what they're doing. It's just
they just got to make their teams use it too, because they have time they don't make their teams use it. Like Nintendo, really you're gonna use what Nintendo put in there.
Oh yeah,
at least the first couple years they're gonna use it.
They're gonna make you use it.
Problem is with Sony, they're too worried about everybody liking them. Yeah, if you stop worrying about everybody liking you and just put out what you think is good, People will follow what you think is good. People didn't know what they wanted before it existed. You want to tell me people wanted Metroid games before Metroid games came out? You going to tell me somebody wanted Final Fantasy before it existed?
Mhm.
Somebody out here wanted Splatoon before it was a thing?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You got to make the games. You got to make something interesting that people will come and get.
Yeah,
you can't just
in.
sit there and hold yourself on this one game over and over and over again. And I know somebody's thinking, well, Nintendo makes the same games all the time. No, they make different games using the same characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's not the same thing as making the exact same game over 50 times.
That's how you make a household name.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, well, we do got to talk about something that kind of pissed off the Sony fanboys. Helldivers is coming to Xbox August 26th. Helldivers 2 is coming to Xbox.
Boy, they were quiet.
And the funny thing about this whole situation is not only is it coming to Xbox, it's being published by Sony.
By Sony.
PlayStation is publishing Helldivers 2 on Xbox.
Ouch. They didn't even make a third party do it. They said we doing it ourselves.
That is crazy. But
if you gotta make the money, you gotta make the money. You gotta make the money.
Okay, so that means Helldivers 2 is coming to Switch 2 then.
Probably.
It would be stupid.
Because that's where it's gonna make the most money. I'm sorry.
But it probably will at some point. Because I'm like, dude, I'm at this point, I'm thinking Sony and Microsoft are both thinking. But Microsoft figured it out first. They were like, look, we know the kind of games that we want to put out ain't gonna sell here.
Yeah,
they just not
exactly.
But they will sell over there. Hey Nintendo, y'all cool. We cool, right? We ain't trying to buy y'all. We're not trying to buy y'all. We're not gonna do that no more. But
the dude that tried was right? He gone.
He's not. He can't hurt you. So
right.
So yeah, I think that's what it is. I mean, at this point, and it's funny, and I said this before we came on, but it's funny how the whole time, the last two generations, Western gaming media have been trying to say Nintendo should go third party. And look at who's about to go third party and who had
Yeah, I mean,
all the while trying to mock them and tell them that, oh man, well, the game would be good if it was just somewhere else. I remember when somebody said Xenoblade Chronicles 3 would be better if it was on PlayStation. Y'all wouldn't buy it if it was on PlayStation.
No, they would.
Because y'all had Monolith Soft.
Sure did. I just, to me, like, I get it. There's games that fit in certain areas. Like Nintendo makes sure that they build their console around the games they want to make. So that's why it feels the way that it feels. Like you can emulate 3DS games and all that stuff all you want to, but trying to play it without a 3DS is a pain in the behind.
It don't feel right.
It don't feel right. So when you look at Xbox and PlayStation, they're essentially the same console, but their fan base is different. So when I'm looking at, let's say, for example, we bring it up all the time, so y'all forgive me. Sunset Overdrive, right?
Oh yeah.
That game does not fit on. They don't fit on either one of those consoles.
No, it don't.
When you look at Astrobot, it doesn't fit on either one of those consoles. Like Horizon, I don't know where that fit, but it's just but it's one of those things to where you can see the writing on the wall for a lot of these games, and it's because of the fan base that you built. Gears should be this multi-million selling franchise. Halo was, and then they kind of shot themselves in the foot. But
343,
it's just,
they screwed that up.
Yeah, they screwed that one up. But it's,
like
it's one of those
you were
things,
given the golden goose.
You were. And then even when you look at something, for example, when we go back to the 360, Cameo should have stayed with Nintendo. Like that was being made on the GameCube, if I'm not mistaken. So when we got on the 360, that was cool, but it got no support and the sequel never happened. Now you look at, let's fast forward. I mean, essentially that's what Donkey Kong is doing right now, is the whole transformations and utilizing the powers of those transformations. But Cameo could still be around. It's a name. It has the appeal. It has the art style. It has everything it could. The art, I mean, the graphics, the gameplay, the fighting, everything matched. Of course, it can always be improved. But when you look at Xbox and PlayStation now, I think moving forward, they're gonna pick and choose where they think things are gonna succeed. It's like right now you're looking at Last of Us, that's what people want on PlayStation. They want The Last of Us. They want games like that because God of War, no matter how much people rave over God of War, it still didn't sell like it should have
No, it
on
didn't.
PlayStation. So it's like, okay, well, where do you fit?
Because you got people saying they need to bring it back to the young Kratos and not the older Kratos.
It needs to be in that style because honestly, the one thing that turns a lot of people off, and you know, there's plenty of people out there that love story within game. I understand that. But when I can say there's 5 hours worth of content of cutscenes.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Like at some point you got to dial it back. Like there's dialogue in the old God of War trilogies, but I'm not sitting there for 20-25 minutes watching a movie.
Yeah.
Like I'm not.
That's why I've always said, like, if you want to make a movie, make a movie.
Just
like,
make the movie.
I mean, like, because Xenoblade Chronicles 2 kind of was pushing me to that point. Because I'm like, hey, some of these cutscenes are getting long, but those long cutscenes usually came at the end of the chapter. You did a whole bunch of other stuff before then.
Yeah.
Like Final Fantasy, the last few Final Fantasy games I played, I'm like, bruh, I can go order pizza. I can come back. I can use the bathroom. I can go. Oh, now I can play. Okay, thank you.
That's the crazy part about it. Like I should not be able to start up a game after installing it first and foremost. So after I install it, now it's like, all right, cool. Let's start the game up, and I'm like, okay, all right, sure, okay. You want to come on? Like, and then finally you get to the tutorial. You do one damn thing and it's back to another cutscene. I'm like, all right, y'all got to figure this out because this is ridiculous.
You want to know what's funny? Metaphor Refantasio did that to me during that damn demo.
Trust me, I know because I played the demo and I was like, all right, dude, come on.
Like, I don't even care about this dude and all white. It's clearly Griffiths from damn Berserk. I don't care.
Yeah. Like it makes me not want to get into the story. It's like I didn't buy this game to watch it. I really didn't. And that's where, like, even when it does come to the Switch, I'm still hesitant because I'm like,
you already know how that opening starts.
So
they need to add in a skip. Just add in a skip.
Yeah,
because like I said with Yakuza, that get a little long winded sometimes too, and I'm like, skip.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, y'all doing too damn much.
Yeah. So that's that. I am interested in seeing how Helldivers 2 is going to do on Xbox because, to be fair, that's the Xbox crowd. That's the Xbox crowd. So, and another thing to be fair about, they have the best online out of all three of them.
They do. So they really do. But I mean, that type of game needs a bigger fan base, though. It needs multiple consoles for it to succeed. Because I mean, it's not. If you leave it on one console, that means that the developer has to keep that fan base interested the entire time, and that's difficult.
And it cuts into your, in the words of a pimp named Snoopback, it cuts into your money.
The pimp named Sony, boy. That's what it is. But yeah,
look, they lost that crown.
Yeah,
look, somebody smacked them, took their fedora, they snatched their purple coat, and took they got goblets.
Yeah,
they took everything.
Yeah.
They took it all, man.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see where we go from here. What other games get moved around? I think
we're gonna see more. We're gonna see some more.
Oh, we'll definitely see more. I'm just interested how they introduce it though.
Here's the worst prediction: The Last of Us Part 1 and 2 on Nintendo Switch 2.
It better not. It better not.
It won't succeed.
It better not.
I don't even think it will succeed, my friend.
It better
they
not.
Better not. They better not. They better not.
They will come out better sending Ratchet and Clank.
Oh yeah, definitely. They definitely would come out better putting Ratchet and Clank.
If I see Last of Us 1 and 2 on the Switch, that means you don't know how to read the room.
I will laugh hard and have tears in my eyes if that happens.
Yeah. Like you purposely, I mean, you definitely don't know how to read the room if you send that over. Yeah. If you, like you said, Ratchet and Clank, even if, and like I said, it's one of those things to where you have to, I was just about to say,
Cooper or Jack and Daxter.
You can literally take your whole PS2 catalog of platformers, spruce them up. Don't send them as PS2 games. Like spruce them up and make them a little bit more modern. Because if you think about like with the first Sly Cooper, I don't know what in the world they were thinking with that camera. Like the way you use that camera in that game, but that was a bad idea. But if you take that right there in itself could get you a lot of money for a little to no cost. For you to take those games, the engine and stuff is already there, the assets are already there. Just make it prettyful, and then just give it to that crowd because they never had it. Not to say that most Nintendo players never played it, but it's been a while. It's been a while. Those are games that you bring back, not the ones that dropped 4 or 6 months ago. Like you bring back the games we haven't played in a while, and then that's when you can like do the temperature gauge of like, all right, cool, we have collections of these games, so you don't even have to sprinkle it in there. Just drop the collection.
And my thing is, I'm like these because I go back to what Sucker Punch and Naughty Dog saying, "Oh, we're a mature studio now." Y'all just left money on the floor.
You matured your way out of a paycheck.
Because number one, that was easy money for y'all.
Easy money.
And people wanted one of those franchises to keep going. And Sony's stupid for being like, okay, y'all don't want to do it? Cool. Oh, we got this other team over here, and y'all do it.
That would have been too easy. Too easy.
I'm not leaving money on the floor. I'm not, especially people asking for it. This ain't no Kid Icarus situation where like people weren't asking for it. They did Uprising, and then magically people want to pretend like they loved the first two. They didn't, because they were too hard.
Mm-hmm.
They were way too hard. So,
and I'm curious to see how like Patapon does, because Patapon was exclusive to PlayStation at one point in time. So if it come over and it kill because they giving you 1 and 2, that'll be a testament of like just read the room, because your fan base obviously don't like it. I mean, you look at Gravity Rush, your fan base obviously didn't care for it.
Send it over
to Nintendo.
Yeah, see what happens.
I would also put Ico and The Last Guardian over too.
Yep,
those games bleed Nintendo.
Yeah, and I would probably because there's a lot of games, especially out there 6 and 7 gen, that you're like, bro, y'all missing the boat, and y'all could have easily those are games that don't take 15 years to make.
Nope.
They're your base, while they claim they want to be mature, they'll buy it if it's good. They would. Yeah. I mean, I put it over to like the same people like the Pokemon situation. Yes, people complain about the trees and all this other stuff, but then they go out and buy the game anyway, and the console that they made for it.
Yeah, you just gotta let people get out their feelings for a minute. Just let them get out their feelings for a minute. They'll be all right.
Yeah. J Biggs, I agree. Killzone and Resistance. You ain't using it.
You ain't using it, no. Because we've been saying for a long time that is the one genre that is naked on Nintendo.
Yeah.
The one genre. That first person shooter, like war shooter or just apocalyptic. That's the one thing that's naked over here on Nintendo side.
That's why because I was sitting here thinking to myself, I'm just like, dude, okay, y'all want Perfect Dark to succeed. Give it back. Let Nintendo run with it. Because even when you do Perfect Dark, when you boot up Perfect Dark on NSO, it has Microsoft Studios logo on it. Even though it's the original N64, they done stamped that Microsoft logo on it.
Yep.
When you look at the right up under the railway, it says Microsoft Xbox Studios. Yep. So it ain't like that. And since they friendly and chummy with each other, y'all didn't know what to do with it. So
right.
Because don't Retro have some of the railroad people too? Let them like, hey, and I promise you, it ain't gonna cost over $75 million. I promise you that.
No,
it's not. It just ain't. So. I mean, that's the other thing. Like, I also think people don't understand. They want all this stuff, and it's gonna cost. But my thing is, the Grand Vision stuff needs to stop. The whole Grand Vision stuff.
No, you don't get a Grand Vision unless you've proven that you can make a small vision.
Yeah. I'll step it up another thing further. I pick a team. You're the team this generation that makes us that big, expensive game that takes like 6 or 7 years to develop. You're going to be the one this generation. Everybody else, you work on AA, whatever A you want to put on there. Even if you want to take it down to triple B, I don't care. Like you're not getting that money. No, you're not getting 200 million. That 200 million or 300 million is reserved for this one company. We've had conversations with this company. We've had meetings with this company. We know what they're trying to make. We feel like it's going to be substantial. It's going to be something that's worthwhile. And that way, not only do our fan base get a multitude of games and a very decent time span for the generation, but once that one banger show up, it's that banger. That's that banger.
Now we can do that. Like Splatoon's a perfect example.
Yep.
You ain't supposed to like Splatoon. You weren't supposed to like that game.
You wasn't.
It was on a dead It was on a dead console, and you weren't supposed to like it.
Exactly.
3 games later, we about to get another 3 games. We 3 games in, about to get a spinoff already.
When you really stop and think about that, Splatoon came out on 2 consoles, and it's already on number 3, and getting ready to get a spinoff. Like, it took 2 generations for that game to get 3.
That was 2015. That was 2015. So it is 3 games in 10 years.
Yeah. 3
There's
games.
Some
in 10
games
years.
they ain't got they one game out, and it's been 7 years.
It tells you a lot. And that right there, and the way that they support it too, it's not like they just dropped it and left it alone. Yeah. They support that game to no end, especially with no Splatfest. Like that is something that even if you don't play Splatoon all that much, everybody show up for the Splatfest.
Yep,
they show up because it turns into a totally different game. It's a party.
That weekend is off the chain,
and you're fighting for something because it's like, okay, I chose mustard over ketchup and mayonnaise,
which
and then it's like, no, it doesn't, but it works. So it's like, all right, cool, I'm team ketchup. And then at the end, you say Team Ketchup won, and we get all these rewards because as a team, we won. Mm-hmm. That is like the best thing you can do.
It's a weekend party.
Yep. So, I mean, it's one of those things to where, I mean, they took that game on a failing system and they made it a franchise and 1 generation. Like, it took a generation. One. Because they stayed with it. The team that was with it stayed with it.
And on top of that, it didn't cost that much.
Nope. They let the young guns have it, and they ran
proved themselves. And they proved themselves. Art style is off the chain. They done already made a franchise out of it because over in Japan, they got manga, they got plush toys, they got all this other stuff. I'm like, bruh.
That's why I'm waiting for Nintendo to make that. I don't even know if they would even go the route of a first person game because they want you to see the character. They want you to experience the character. So I don't think they ever go that route. But
no, because number one, the as much as I like first person games in certain genres, it's oversaturated. It's overdone.
It really is. It's overdone. Bad.
And then they want you to get all this stuff, but you can't ever see it. So what's the point of me getting it?
Right. Yep.
So what's the point? There ain't no point of me getting it if I can't see it. So yeah, that's why I'm like, I kind of like the fact that they like, we're gonna keep third person viewpoint. Because if you get something and you want to see it, you should be able to see it. Or at the very least, give you an option. Give you a first person option or a third person option, or you can switch freely in between.
Right.
Depending on your viewpoint.
Because think about it, like with Call of Duty. I feel like Call of Duty is popular where it is now because there's no competition. Because honestly, they don't have to do much. But when you look at what they just released, right? They just released the Beavis and Butthead DLC that you can get. I can't see who I am. Like people can see me, but I can't see that I'm Beavis or Butthead or whomever I select. What was the point?
And so Activision paid all that money to license them, and you can't see him.
I can't see him. Yeah, like and because I mean that's where Fortnite wins out. It's like I can see my character. I can see Peter Griffin going to go shoot Naruto. Like I can see
Vegeta with a sawed-off shotgun.
Right. Like I can actually see my character do it, but. Like you seeing my character is kind of stupid. It's like me buying like this flashy car, but everybody else see it but me. Like I'm inside the car. Like it's just I don't see it when it's driving. But I think Nintendo has figured it out, and I think at some point Sony will figure it out at some point because I think in their last meeting that they had or the last interview they had, they said they were going to start focusing more on AA.
Which
games.
They should have been doing.
They should have been doing it, but like you said, trying to keep up with the Joneses. But Microsoft, they will do it. I mean, they got enough teams to do it, but I think right now their main focus needs to be what in the world can I, get as my top seller? What is my household name game? And then go from there because it used to be Halo. It ain't Halo no more.
And it ain't Gears because y'all ain't made one.
It ain't there no more. So that's just what it is. But I mean, honestly, I wish them all the best because, like I said, we need competition.
Yeah,
for sure.
Competition makes everything better. That's why I was mad when Sega left, but I understood it because they did it to themselves.
Yeah, and now they riding high. Now they can't figure out Sonic, but they riding high. So and that's supposed to be their household name, but right now, what is it? Persona
is right now.
Persona is the household name.
but Sonic is still there because those movies are doing well.
Yeah.
And so if it wasn't for those movies, I think Sonic would really kind of be in the gutter a
Be
little
the
bit.
way a crash.
Yeah. But the problem is, the thing is, like, they'll do for everything they do right, they'll do like 15 other things that don't make no sense. Yeah. Like I like Sonic Lost World on the Wii U because that's when they tried to go the Galaxy route. I think it could have worked if they could have fine tuned the controls a little bit.
Yeah.
I like Colors on Wii.
They were on to something.
I actually like Sonic Forces, but for different reasons. But yeah, like Sonic Frontiers, it ain't that good.
It's not.
It's okay. That's about as far as I
go. The
one with the stretch.
Yeah, the one with the werewolf. That one, the one with the werewolf.
Unleashed.
Unleashed. It ain't that good.
Half of the game.
Half of the game was good. The other half sucked. Like, so it's like it's one of them situations. Like, and they did some good stuff. Like they did some cool stuff in Unleashed. They really did. But half of the game was just like, I don't want to play as this guy.
The problem is you have the werehog when all of those segments you could have just put Knuckles in.
Yeah, basically.
Right.
Just put Knuckles in. Knuckles or Rouge. One of the two of them would have fit those proportions.
Yeah. Before we get out of here, I do want to bring up one thing because I do play First Descendant, and we got that trailer for the 2B. 2B is going to be in from Nier Automata is going to be in First Descendant. Okay, at this point, she's been in Soul Calibur.
The thirst
she's been in everything, bro.
She's been in Soul Calibur. She's been in Grand Blue Rising Versus. Was she in Fortnite?
I thought there was rumors about it or something.
There's rumors, but I don't think she's in there. Yeah.
Okay. And she's gonna be in this. At this point, Kamiya should be getting a check every time they put her in something.
She's gonna be in Smash next.
I mean,
which she should.
I mean, you already got her auntie Bayonetta there anyway. So
but the funny thing about it is, you'll have people complaining about they don't want any more anime sword guys, and then 2B will be in there, and they'll be like, "I love this character." Wait a minute.
Yep.
Anime sword.
But she's not a guy. But she's not a guy.
Good point. But do y'all think it's oversaturated? Personally, I'm kind of teetering a little bit because I'm like, okay. Oh, the other one, she's in Stellar Blade. That's the other one.
Yeah,
that's right. She is in it now. Yeah.
Is she in it or is just her costume?
I think isn't she?
It's her. I think it's her.
Oh,
so
let me see. Hold on.
That might actually make it worse for me to pick it up on PC then.
I know Eve has the dress, but I don't think she has the face thing.
Oh, it's the outfit.
Oh, it's just the outfit? Okay,
yeah,
never mind.
Outfit, yeah.
But yeah, I'm just sitting there, I'm like, okay, all right.
But you might as well say she in it because the outfit looks just like her. So I mean, she literally got the hair, the mask, and everything. So I mean, might as well be her. But this is my thing, and this is an honest question: where did all this love come from? Like the game was good, don't get me wrong, but where all the love come from?
For all the people that want to pretend that they played it on other platforms, 2B didn't get all this attention until Nier Automata came up with Switch.
Yeah,
when they fixed the frame rate problem, when they fixed because people tried to pretend that was the game that I told people like that's how you knew Digital Foundry was lying. Because they claimed that whole game was like 1080, 60 frames a second, and what? It was like 940 or something like that. Because when it came to Switch was when it was 60? Yeah. At 900 or something like 900p, I think it was. So right. I'm like, bruh. But all these people claim, oh, you can see 60 frames a second with your bare eyes. No, you can't. No, you can't.
I tell them do the welcome tour test and see if they succeed.
Yeah.
That test in itself, it got me a few times. I'm like, wait a minute, that wasn't 30 frames, that wasn't 20, that wasn't that. Like,
because people think that lower frame rates always come with jaggedness. They don't.
They don't.
No. You can have as odd as it might sound, you can have a game that looks fluid and smooth that runs at 20 frames per second.
Right.
Yep. People don't know that. People don't get it. But that can happen. It just depends on how the animations are done and how it's paced.
And how good your team is.
That too.
because I tell people all the time, my favorite game of all time runs between 15 and 20 frames a second.
On a good day.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be able to tell because the game plays smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Game plays smooth.
Look, and even if that game does hit a slowdown, you can still hit buttons and get responses.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how good the team is. So it does matter how good your squad is. That's why I say like a lot of these games when I put them in, when I play them on Switch 2, and I'm like, okay, why y'all acting like this game just is like it plays virtually the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that big of a leap on some of these games with people trying to act like, oh, it just plays so much better. No, it don't. Stop. You're exaggerating. You really are exaggerating. I'm like, bruh, it plays damn near the same.
Well, I tell you. Well, yeah. So man, it's interesting to see 2B get all this love though. Because like I said, it was a good game. Yeah. I mean, I don't hear too many people go crazy about the second one. Because I forgot the title of the second one. What was the name of that game? It was like a prequel, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it?
What game you talking about?
The Reincarnate or something like that.
Yeah, it had some weird title.
Yeah. It had like
the game after Nier.
Yeah, it was like the serial number didn't have read.
Oh,
yeah. So
it's something with an R. I can't remember it.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about though.
It's a wild title, and it makes it hard for anybody to find it because it was like
I think Nier Automata is actually the second game because there was another one first.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So replicant.
Yeah,
okay.
There we go.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, a lot of love for a character that, hey, I mean, she cool. She looked cool. I mean, the games fly. I mean, I enjoy the game, but I just don't know where it's coming from. Maybe they're just like, hey, look, Square. It was like, hey, we just trying to do a whole bunch of partnerships.
And maybe that's a quick way for them to get some money back. I guess off royalties. I don't know.
I don't know because I felt like the game did well.
No, I mean like, but like Square is just hemorrhaging money, so they probably like, y'all want Cloud, y'all want Sephiroth, y'all want 2B, huh?
I have horn out all the IP.
Girl, get in that game. Get in that game.
I was just in this last one. I don't care.
Get in the game. They paying us 200. They paying us 250,000. Get in that game.
So, you know how much they paying us to use you?
I mean. I think that's probably what some of that is because I'm pretty sure, like Bandai Namco had to put out some money for it. I'm pretty sure Side Games had to do it for Grand Blue Rising. So I mean, it is what it is. But that's gonna do it for us tonight, people. Thank you everybody in the chat for coming through. We appreciate you as always. Let me check my calendar real quick because so we will have a podcast episode next week, next Sunday. But after that, we're gonna take the 20th off because I will be out of town. So I'll be on a cruise in the Bahamas. So
better come back married.
Night. You seen these marriage laws, bro? I ain't coming back nothing. They ain't gonna be no rings on nobody's fingers.
I'm about to say Happy Father's Day to Jay whenever he comes back.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I'm not. Nah, but we'll be off on the 20th, but we will be back next Sunday. So, Jack, anything you want to pimp out?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you haven't paid attention to the summer sale that's happening on the eShop at this moment, it ends on the 10th, if I'm not mistaken. It has a lot of great games on sale. Even Nintendo first party games are on sale. So definitely go check it out. I mean, I found some great games that's going as low as $2. I mean, some of these games they just giving away.
Yeah, these cracking prices for real.
For sure. One thing I've been doing though is there's a lot of content creators that are doing the Switch 1 games that run better on Switch 2. So if you had a game that you were interested in, see if somebody's already done the test and go check it out and then see if that game is on sale. That's where like I was hesitating on a lot of games to where I'm like, okay, let me see how it run first before I pick it up. Because I know like Ni no Kuni 1 and 2 were on sale, but I remember they didn't run the best on the Switch, but now they run flawless on the Switch too. So, that was one of those games. So take advantage of the sale. I believe GameStop, if you still go to GameStop, they're doing the 2-for-1 situation where you buy 2 get 1, which their policy is they'll take the highest price game, and that's where you can determine which game comes free. They'll give you like the lowest one is the free one. So take advantage of these sales, especially if you're not interested in getting the Switch 2 yet. All these games that are on sale are Switch games. But then also too, if you do have a Switch 2 and you're waiting for games in the future, whether it's Donkey Kong or Age of Imprisonment or whatever that's not out yet or doesn't have a date, take advantage of these sales and play some of these games that are already out that run a lot better than what they previously did.
Yeah, I agree. Andre, anything you want to pimp out?
I mean, I ain't got nothing right now. I've been trying to work on stuff, but between work and me being bored and then taking this little ThinkPad here and seeing what heavy duty games I can get to run on it. That's been a fun experiment. I need to get a capture card specifically for this so I can make videos on that. That's fun to do. Just to play games on a machine that shouldn't be able to play.
Right.
It'd be fun.
I mean, there's already a channel out there with low spec gaming.
Yeah.
So I mean, he can have some competition.
All right. I don't really have anything. I am going to be throwing some gameplay up. I am going to do a arcade run with Andy Bogart from Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. I like that game. That it's a lot of fun. I just hate that it's not getting a lot of love. And I understand people don't want real people in there, but dude,
right,
it's still a fun game. So I'll be doing some stuff with that. I am going to be probably going back through Smash Brothers. I heard some people say that checking it out via Switch 2 and just seeing what it's going to play like. I haven't played through like some online stuff in a long time on Smash. I've just been playing like when I do play, I've just been playing like single player stuff. So I'll probably go through a couple of classic mode just to see what it feels like and stuff like that. I'll probably throw some gameplay up of that too. And I'll try to do some stuff more this coming week just because I know I'm going to be out for a week. So other than that though, that's all from me. Once again, thank you everybody in the chat. We appreciate you. We will be back next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, like normal. But on the 20th, we will be off. So just to let you guys know. And thanks again, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
Peace folks.